DreamHack Masters Las Vegas is brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers, HyperX, Monster Energy, live at MGM Grand.
The sights and sounds of Vegas. There's lots to see and do in this city, but nothing will be more spectacular than the 8 teams in the playoffs of the DreamHack Masters. Las Vegas 2017. We're in search of our 8th team to make the playoffs. It looks like it might be Na'Vi, as they got map 1 of a best of 3 in a very convincing fashion.
I would say very convincing, and that's the only map we've seen FaZe play. Moving on towards Nuke. I'm not so sure they'll be able to do much about this. It's Jacob coming in. I don't think they've had much time to practice at all. It's a map that relies heavily on team chemistry and actually having the timings down, the executions, the fakes, and there's a lot of homework that needs to be done in this map. We know that to be true when the map first came out. A lot of teams struggling to actually pick
Speaking of homework,
go on.
Jacob, warm up.
Oh, that. Yeah, when he was on, I guess it's fine to say, he was asking if it was just 5 FaZe players on the server. He's throwing his smoke at T-side and asking if it was landing correctly, so maybe a sign of maybe things aren't quite ready to go in terms of their setup. Yeah,
maybe he's not necessarily used to throwing that particular smoke. That's another thing. It's one thing to know every single smoke, but usually in a set team of 5, you always throw the same smokes. So to learn, if someone else on that team's already throwing that smoke and you got to relearn another one, it can be tricky.
Depends on the smoke. Like, normally you're 100% right. There's some instances that, let's say the dust to long smoke at T-side when you're smoking in the long corner. Yes. Everyone needs to know that.
Yeah,
right?
And Xbox as well.
It's spawn based, so everyone knows the essential smokes. And then yes, those set piece ones, normally it's always down to the role of the player.
Yeah, which can be very tough, especially if that's why you often see, I think Blade talks about this, if one player dies early before they go for an execution, you have to identify immediately which player in the execution that was, so you can adjust.
Normally the in-game leader will know every single smoke because he's the one coming up with the strategies and he can normally fill the holes. But still, it looks like we are live and it will be Na'Vi starting. I meant to say plug the hole.
That doesn't work either.
Yeah. No, what should I have said?
I like how it's the old Nuke that we get our little pass-through on because we saw the railings on the yellow crossbar.
There you go. Well, no, I was about to say Na'Vi starting on the CT side here. I said before in the pre-game, that's a nightmare for FaZe at the T side. Very difficult. Certainly a balanced map now, but Guardian, 2 headshots to open things up. The squeaky door rush not working out so far, but Rain trying to get back into this. He's going to be swiftly taken down. Alu fighting back, but the bomb has been dropped.
Guardian has to back away from said bomb, though, and they'll grab it, and it's right in front of the vents, so down they go, but down goes the bomb again. Kerrigan found by C's to sits in wait. It's Alu that now has to find versus 3. Kills bomb, and time to do it, and that's certainly a good start as he finds Guardian, drops down. Should know there's going to be one in front, but C's times it to perfection.
Lovely shot there by C's, and an amazing start to the round by Guardian. It's done it very precise indeed. The P2000 doing some big work there. Very common strategy these days. Rush the squeaky door and see if you can get overwhelmed. Well, you're seeing overwhelmed the CDs who can't be above that squeaky door position anymore. Obviously, in the previous version of Nuke, you could actually sit above that and have the bird's eye view. That's why a lot of teams opting for that tactic this time, but not meant to be. 4 spy coming from FaZe. Everyone getting involved in the armor once again. Ali will be limited if they don't win this round. And Deagles, Tech9s, no grenades. Not really sure what they're hoping to do. No grenades on Nuke.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, we talk about how much they are essential to getting the outside positions as Alu gets on to top of the main entrance.
Like if you want to go to a ramp, it's smoke off the left-hand side. If you want to go outside, you have to actually do the wall of smokes. It's anything to work with here. Just the Deagles take that, I don't think will be enough to even get close to a bomb site here, but hopefully they prove me wrong. I'm always happy to be
proven wrong.
Fool of. I didn't want to say that again.
I know, I get it. Repetition.
Doesn't sound good.
Revolution number 9. Seized is going to take down Keo Flamey. Speaking of number 9, they've all got the number 9 in their name now. I'm not sure what the reference is to, but it's Kerrigan that will fall, Jacob.
Yeah, what is that?
It's simple.
9.
Beatles fans.
If you know,
Edward,
tweet us.
Jacob. Yes, please do. I love finding information tidbits from various people who know too much.
Well then, like I said, not really anything achieved this round, and Alu will be the last player remaining with 14 HP, Tech 9 towards lower sight. He has not got the bomb, and needs to die, really.
Needs to die.
Oh, he wants to get
It
banned,
always
right?
sounds so cruel, but yes, it is what you have to do. You need to die, son. We're sorry to inform you.
Especially him, the AWP, needs the money rolling in. Well, there it is, 2-0. This will be the redundant round, and Navi start things off in a very promising fashion. It's going to be PT-50s, Glocks, and a decoy Carrigan. Okay, what's he got planned with that?
Fake flash, perhaps?
Be quite an elaborate strategy, but let's see if it works out.
It's the only thing I can think of using it for by default.
Only costs $50, or not?
Yeah, I guess if you need to pick something up. 1v1 timing, perhaps. The fake flash antics. We've seen pistols be thrown, oddly enough, by someone who knows something about throwing to make that play work. Simple will get inside of the hut. Smoke will go well deep, leaves a massive gap. Simple tries to take advantage, gets dinked up, and they're going to converge onto his position. Down he goes. And gun grab through the window. It's Edward waiting on the other side. A better shot from Jacob. They've got to transfer in, and they're going to get dinked again. Seized. He only gets one on arrival. It's up to Flamey to make for all the difference. And he's done enough to leave it to just Carrigan, 35, and no armor. Aim punch a factor.
10 HP. Carrigan now has got the M401S in hand and an incendiary. Just going to throw that as a distraction towards main. Not going to do anything, but he's just hoping they won't be guessing he's towards heaven with that incendiary dropped. Flashbang to work with. A bit desperate now. Very unlikely he can win this round. They're going to be knowing he's towards heaven. One bullet will take him down. There it is. So, although a little bit promising, Flamey comes in and picks up the pieces there. And Navi pick up round number 3. So the buy comes in. I don't think Alu has enough of the AWP. No, he does not. AK-47 is brought out. I don't think a bomb's been planted yet, has it? No. Definitely not. Or Guardian though. That's going to be a bit of a show. He looks like he's in very good form right now. Previous map was great. And let's see whether he can continue that good form and take it outside, which is obviously the most common position, but you can take it towards the ramp as well.
I've heard a lot of people like to take it outside lately. How about that? Guardian.
I thought you were against being a slave for the memes.
Yeah, I'm not a slave to them.
Yeah.
Alex Machine Richard said. No particular reason I said his name there. Just struck my mind.
He's the meme machine, so...
The meme machine?
Yeah.
It's actually the love machine. That's what it was, originally. Smite hole in the door. Nicely thrown nade to get through it from Simple. Better than Shaq at free throws, as he flashes in toward the lobby in doing so. Kerrigan still waiting outside, has a Molotov ready to go top hut. As he's already busted out the glass, he lines himself up, crosshair, back corner of the square mounting point. And he'll let rip the Molotov. Down it goes. Bounce and lands. Top hut cover. That covers off, or rather, creates a lack of coverage, I should say, towards Squeaky. So they're able to bust out, get inside the site. Simple has to go down below inside of the vents. And with the bomb down, it now becomes a retake phase. Considering we said execution would be questionable, show off some poise in doing so. Upper very simple as well. Look at how much utility they still have left. A smoke, which they'll deploy at heaven now to prohibit the retake. A Molotov as well to put on top of the bomb, and 4 flashes still to play with. As Flamey gets Jacob, but they've got to back out already.
Yeah, actually a really nice round from FaZe, all things considered. Actually keeping 4 players alive here, and finding Flamey. Guardian low HP in CT spawn, and he'll be trying to defend himself here. His teammate's actually going to be in the upper bomb site going down. Simple actually pushed through that. So Guardian should be surviving. All of the T-sided players will be making their way towards their own spawn, so he lives to fight another day. 3-1. FaZe do post something here on Nuke. In terms of the buy coming in, Navi can buy. They save the AWP so they can force around it and force maybe a Famous here or there. But it's promising. I don't think FaZe would post much at all here on the T side, but finding a nice early round like that, maybe they've got something up their sleeve. Much in terms of utility to work with here for Navi. There's 2 smokes, that's it.
The popular consensus, although there's no confirmation, is that it's a tribute to Senya.
Yes,
who has 9 in his name, but for what reason? Guardian, meanwhile, takes down Jacob. Guardian takes down Kerrigan as he refaces the same position, but Alu finally silences the AWP prowess of Na'Vi and leaves him a man down, but they get some ground to walk on. More importantly, they can wrap into the heaven position. Flash being set to allow the peek, and it's perfectly timed. It forced Edward back, and it allows Alu a little bit further in toward the rafters position. Now down below as well, even if he wraps around to find Edward, Edward might just give himself up, wins the duel. With an M4 against an AK, I was going to say, even if he goes after him, there's still the floor covered off. Flamey's backed out toward ramp.
Guardian kick things off. 2 frags for him. He goes down, but it's going to be FaZe fighting back here. Rain doing a decent job here, but left in a 3 versus 1. Another glorious headshot to take on Edward. He has a chance here as he makes it a 1v1. Just Flamey up against him now. And it's going to be Rain on 54 HP, bomb in hand.
Rotation from Flamey from the ramp room will go to heaven, so he'll watch the upper site. Rain has not really moved away far from where he was and now starts to look back out toward lobby. 36 seconds, he's going to go ramping lower. So he's going to go exactly where Flamey just was. And he should get a free bomb plant out of this because Flamey in rafters, although he is getting closer to hut, will come down the vent, I would assume, after the plant. But with 20 seconds, if he doesn't see him by the 10-second mark, he could try and jump the rotation.
Yeah, he's going to go up towards heaven.
Oh, yep, Rain's gone the other way. I lied. He's gone toward heaven, so he's going to go up, and the rafters are covered off. He's being stared down, but he's got to look around the corner. Flamey's got it. And it's Na'Vi with 4.
Very well done there. Rain trying to be very clever. It was actually quite a nice move there, but Flamey's so aware. Watching the upper bomb side, didn't commit towards lower, and he walks into his crosshair. Rain, they did such a fantastic job to actually make that round a possibility. If he pulls that one off, that's going to get his whole team fired up. It would have been a 4-man clutch, but not meant to be. This was the kill where I really started believing. Took down Simple, the 1v1, and considering the time he had left and Flamey losing track of him, I thought he had a huge advantage and might have done better off going towards lower, but here we go then. Luckily for Rain, he does damage the economy of Na'Vi dramatically, so they can actually go up against UMPs and shotguns this time, and they still have a decent chance here. It's a similar story for FaZe, not fully equipped, but it's pretty equal in terms of the weaponry.
Guardian has the lineup with the M4. The M4, not the AK. Rotation from C's down below as he knows that they've gotten into secret. But he gets dinked up, tagged away, and forced back. Thankfully, Simple found a kill beforehand, but was found immediately after. It's Guardian. And we'll get so far the unanswered watch to his left. I don't think he's aware. There's a player inside of the big garage. He does have Flamey to back him up well back toward lockers, and that's going to save him because he finds Jacob going through.
Well, it was a decent attempt with the force buy from FaZe, but not meant to be. 4 players from Na'Vi picking up a kill, and just Alu remains, not known to be the strongest rifler. It's going to be Guardian to take him down there and give Na'Vi round number 5 on the board, and presumably another eco now for FaZe. Yeah, around 2k. Only got 2 stage loss bonus at the moment. So a chance now for Na'Vi to stabilize things. They won't have the orb just yet. They'll keep this UMP in hand and just try to keep 5 players alive going to this one. P50s and Deagles for FaZe. A lot of good Deagle players within this team, but like we said for a reason before in the second round, no grenades, no smokes is a real big deal on the T side. And if you're going to do a slow-paced round, it's going to be difficult to find anything at all.
Oh, Jacob nearly gets the timing right to catch, I believe, who was that? Seized that rotates into the floor, and that works out well because Seized picks up a kill. The Guardian outside clotheslines Rain after he found Alu, and it's just a matter of procession at this point in time to make it 6-1. Na'Vi continuing to triumph, convincing fashion over FaZe. Simple doesn't even look like he's all that interested in this. He just wants to get it done and over with.
Well, here we go then. The buy comes in for FaZe. 4 AKs, a UMP or Kiyoshima. No orb for Na'Vi yet, but they had a pretty clean run in the previous round, so 5 players staying alive, don't want to throw any weapons away. And 2 players towards ramp room, and it looks like one's actually going towards lower, so he can make his way towards secret. Guardian will be playing from CT spawn, a fast-paced play towards the vent. That's going to be Kyo making it down there, not Nico. He's on the team just yet.
Kiyoshima will work into the control room as well now with the UMP. He's already made his way freely in toward secret downstairs, but Seized is rotated into play decontamination. So it's not like the site's for free and easily plantable. Pick up from Seized for exactly that reason. Kiyoshima starts to hunt inside of the site and Seized down there, finds him first. Takes away any confidence in lower that they had, but they're still heading in that direction. Good pickup from Simple, holds the door. Yes, get your memes in, as he will now start to rotate down, holds himself on the ladder because he doesn't want to commit to it just yet, not knowing what's on the inside of the vent. It's Alu that was. And that gives them a bit more space again, but the bomb needs to smoke, and the smoke will be deployed by Rain. Edward's going to rotate late, and so too is Guardian. There's a bit of a chance for this bomb to be planted before there can be any pouncing antics from Na'Vi. Question is, where do you go in the post plant? Seized is still menacing out toward decontamination. And Jacob's got the post plant that I much adore and actually hate. As he pops out, takes down Seized. Brain's got the first kill. Guardian. It now has to be swift from Edward and Flamey. And the first is successful. Flamey gets Alu. But Rain's still sitting to babysit the bomb, and Jacob in behind the new boxes. He hears them coming from ramp, can transition around to the opposite side of them, control the peak, and he and Rain together will win the round for FaZe.
Rain's looking unbelievably sharp. Some fantastic headshots there, and a much-needed round for FaZe. 6-2. Don't have to break the economy just yet, but Kiyoshima kicked things off there. He gets towards lower and forces a lot of rotation towards that side of the map. He goes down there, but like you said, they find some space to get that bomb down, and the post-out situation, very good and well played by Jacob and Rain to close it out. This is the big round, though. They can get this one. That's going to be an eco for Na'Vi and a chance to really sink their teeth into this half. 5 AKs once again. No AWP for Alu just yet, but the AWP is in the hands of their nemesis, Guardian, who's waiting towards outside.
Seized with a smoke in front, wants to play close to said smoke, so if they push through, he's there to greet them. With a handshake, it's Guardian outside. Bit of a damage tagged onto him. In fact, Half-Life lost. Half-Life 3's been lost for years. Simple wants to put his own smoke down and play a clever tactic inside of it, but there's a gap on the other side, and Jacob, he's ready with the AK to take him down. FaZe are desperate to get more rounds on the board on the T side. Rain as well is waiting on the smoke to dissolve down below. They continue to want to try and take over this B site. Aside from a very clever tactic early on that we mentioned with the Molotov to Hut, it's been lower that they've been having their success. They get greeted at ramp far too successfully from Navi's perspective, and that limits them to just 3 remaining. Rain will clear decontamination. They'll go for the plant either way, but they've got to hold off the rotation. Success so far in Flaming going down. Jacob, safe plant for decontamination. That's covered off by Rain, seized above them in the vents. And Rain can go hunting, doesn't even need to.
There we go, then the retake comes in. Guardian and Edward, they have smoke and flashbangs, but this is such a difficult site to retake, especially with the AWP as well. Hoping for a mistake to be made by FaZe at this point, but look at the crossfires. Alu, perfect position. Not really much Edward can do, and that's going to signal for Guardian to save the AWP, I would say, at this point. No kit. And trying to save the AWP, the money's going to be in tatters. So that's a big round for FaZe to pick up. You can see the money there. The second save lost bonus, Guardian with no money. Sees similar story. So they can force up around this AWP if it's saved. If it goes down, that's a bit of a problem. Looks like he will be able to save the weapon here. But FaZe, once again, back towards that lower site, and maybe Guardian goes down here. Has to hit it.
Does.
Cool shot, but yeah, brings it in.
Important to keep that up. They've got money to buy. They'll do so around that AWP, but it just strengthens said buy. FaZe will have Alu on the AWP. Need to find some form from Alu. He's not been dead quiet in this. It's Kerrigan and Keo that have actually only combined for 2 kills, 1 each.
Indeed.
Guardian looks swift with 10 though this early.
Yeah, he's gone towards ramp this time as well. He's been focusing towards outside, but Seeds will be swapping up with him.
Alu spotted Seized.
Did he really?
He definitely saw him 100% through the gap in the box, and that's why he's backed off to watch accordingly out toward the red container. Molotov as well to transfer him out of there. At this point, it's not even about killing him, it's about getting him back so that Alu can get his op in position to start to take some map control at outer. But a rotation accordingly. They're going to bring a player, and I'm not sure who it is. It's simple, toward the secret stairwell, and that means if Kiyoshima elects to jump up on top of Twinkie, he's got position for it. It also means Alu has to be very careful as he continues to advance. He's very cautious because he knows they were aggressive. He spotted, seized up close and can hear a second on the left. Meanwhile, it's Kiyoshima Rain and now Alu to get Guardian that open things up. Simple's early rotation means he's limited. He's stuck inside of the vents. He'll find the first one on Kiyoshima, grab the AK, and it may just be to save it at this point in time. Unless Seized can pull some strings because it's 2-man down, bomb planted, and he's gone as well. Forget it. Simple's going to save.
This is actually looking pretty convincing by FaZe. I was expecting bit of a horror show on their T side, and it's going to force a tactical timeout from Na'Vi as well. They're actually looking very coordinated and actually pinstering bomb sites, and Alu patrolling towards outside, waiting for rotations, hitting some close range shots, and Guardian trying to make his way towards main. And to be fair, Rain, he's having a fantastic game so far. He must be in double digits. He's on 10 frags right now. Not far behind him is JChem. That's 2 MVPs so far for FaZe, I would say, by far. And Simple will be saving his AK-47, but go into a tactical pause at this point. If you're just joining us, this is the second map of the best of 3. We kick things off in Mirage. 16-6, Na'Vi looks very good indeed, and now FaZe actually putting out a convincing fight here. Problem is, yes, Nuke traditionally is CT-sided map. But this version of it, we saw it at the major, it was almost 50-50 in terms of rounds picked up. So don't let the scoreline fool you here. You might be thinking, this is looking great for FaZe, 4 rounds so far on the T side. This is actually perfect, but you're actually looking, especially with this kind of roster with a stand-in, I think they'd be looking to win the half to stand a chance of winning this game.
I would agree with that. Map takes coordination, a map of this type, especially where it's this new, because it's not like everyone is on the same page. It's not like the meta is so established that every team is playing it identically that you can just slot a player in like it's Dust 2 and know exactly what you're going to get. So we'll see what Na'Vi come up with. I would love to wrap this series up in 2. I'm sure of that. Get reset and get ready to start things off in the arena tomorrow. See some changes outside of our current studio location. There was all the line banners and pedestals put up and security scanners.
Detectors, yeah.
Metal detectors put outside the door, so they're getting ready to open things up to the public tomorrow morning.
Have you had a look in the arena yet?
I have not.
You saving it for a surprise? You could have a...
No, I already know. I saw some diagrams.
Okay. Is it going to be mind-blowing?
It's going to be different.
Okay. Don't give anything away.
I like it. It's I haven't actually. The arena itself is significant. It's illustrious. It's had a history.
Sure.
And it's quite large in itself. But I think people will enjoy what they've chosen to do with it, and I hope that it's a success. I'm sure it will be. Vegas, get him in there, lads.
Yeah, it's been a very fun tournament so far.
It has.
But they all
got the drive dune buggies with Paula.
He did.
The slowest Brit of all time.
Just about made it back in time.
It's true.
A few seconds to spare.
Just barely.
Just sleepy. Alex was getting ready to put the casting headset back on.
I'm starting to believe, Henry.
Yeah, it could have happened.
Well, speaking of beliefs, we will get back into the game. It's FaZe. 4 AK-47s, an AWP for Alu, and just Simple with the saved AK on the Na'Vi side. So they call a pause with not much money and elect to bring up a few pistols. That's about it to go along with it. Look at this position from Seized. The new catwalk, and you used to be able to push up down below this and catch people off. He's going to go above it, and they're going to boost. I've not seen this boost. It's definitely something that everyone knows exists, but I've never seen them try to utilize it. This is what they talked about to get Simple's AK in position. It's pushed them back significantly far, and he's found the opening pick. He knows there's another one outside, but can't find the angle. Says, never mind. One is enough. That's a good start. That's what they need, and he'll back away. But as he does so, it's inside the upper sight that they try and capitalize. They know 2 are outside in order to boost him, but even going in upstairs, they're confronted with chaos because it's kills that still rain out from Na'Vi's side. It's down to Simple's AK. He's got it down to a one-on-one as well as Kerrigan falls. It's Kiyoshima with bomb, who has to make a play. And Simple's going to start to try and read this. Gets toward heaven. He's already rotating lower. He's hoping Kiyoshima's going to lose confidence on upper and go that direction. He's right in doing so, and the nade pulled out from Kiyo. He had no idea, no expectation Simple would be there so soon. He'll nade back in turn. It's one bullet either way, and Simple's AK with aggression works for Na'Vi.
Lovely little boost there to get things off. Yes, it's certainly an interesting idea. I've seen a few teams do it, but Simple nails it, gets the first kill. That was a really tough eco round for them regardless. They saved 1 AK and then some CZs and 5.7s. He gets that kill, funnels them towards the upper bomb site, and Flamey's waiting for them to CZ, and then Simple to finish things off in the 1v1. Kiyoshima can't close the round out, goes towards lower. Simple's there, ready and waiting.
Very smart rotation from Simple. That was a risk as well.
Yeah, definitely. If he goes towards upper, he's pretty much out the round. He hasn't got a kit, not really much he can do about it. He has to just come in from obvious positions and has no idea where Kiyoshima would be. So very well read as we go into round number 12. 4 AKs and Kiyoshima just down to a Tech 9 now. They are quite limited the T side here. All back in the hands of Guardian. So that tactical timeout seems to be working quite nicely for that. That's a perfect time to take it, right? He said, right, we've got Simple, one of the most talented players in the game right now. How can we make him do something with this AK-47? Let's boost him up outside and see what he can do. It's a pretty good call. I like it.
And that's a team call as well. Simple used to try and make plays like that without having the team behind him in situations when he would have the only gun and it seemed forced. That one was definitely coordinated. Good trades on the way through. Edward Rafters manages to get 2 in a row before falling. But they're bookended by kills from the FaZe side. Watch Kiyoshima. Flash comes through. He's able to dodge it, but they can't capitalize from heaven quite so quickly. Seized needs their distraction. Seized needs them to go and pull them away because he wants to get up the vent. And even if he goes up the vent, main entrance has Alu waiting for an outside rotation. Shot in, Keo, he's gotten seized. He tried to go early. Jacob's got to line up for headshots. Gets one as well. It's down to just one remaining for Na'Vi. 7 rounds to their name, but only 1 round since a reset. They're out of money. Guardian has to consider how to approach this, and I think he's just going to save. Keep the AWP if he can even do that. Missed shot and caught in the doorway by Alu.
Well, there it is. 4 AKs and a Tech 9. Kiyoshima, once he gets the AK in hand, manages to find a very valuable kill in the 3-on-3. That upper bomb site seems to be where he's trying to go. Oh, just about got the fist bump there in time.
Just about.
7-5. And there's going to be quite a pretty harsh reset for Navi at this point. So Nuke coming in, and FaZe, they're reading the economy nicely. Kerrigan will be playing the Mac 10, maybe just an upper rush. We talk about this map actually lending itself to rushes in the anti-ecos. You can actually rely on them, considering the CTs can't get above the squeaky door now. Not really much chance they can spray you down with the lesser pistols. Jacob gets the first kill. Towards ramp they go. Kerrigan leading the charge towards lower. So this round's pretty much tied up at this point. Not really much the CTs can do at all. Jacob might get caught there towards Secret as FaZe is waiting in the tight corner. It's just down to whether Jacob checks it, and it looks like he will.
Yep, done. Good awareness from Jacob to consider all possibilities against that of an eco. And Kerrigan hunting with the Mac 10. Oh, just misses his opportunity. To spot a retreat from Na'Vi up the ladder. Bomb planted on lower. Guardian found by Kerrigan, who goes hunting, and it's simple remaining 1 versus 5. I'm sure he would love to get an AK-47. Don't know that he'll be able to do so, but it's the thought that counts. Is that how that works?
Pretty much. There it is. Simple goes down. So Navi still have the lead here, but FaZe not far behind at all. 7-6. We weren't sure what to expect going into this Nuke map, but it's been a pretty convincing case so far. Having a look at the money for Navi, they might have to take another eco here, allow them to tie things up at 7-7 and finish things off in round number 15. It looks like that will be the case. A conservative partial buy here. In terms of loss bonus, it's actually 2 rounds in a row. So after this round, they should be on 3rd stage. They can do something here with the partial buy. 2 UMPs and the CZs, which players like Flamey especially are very good at. Bit of team damage there towards Guardian. Why not? Make it a little bit more handicapped.
Gives them any advantage they can get. Alu starting well, though. Edward pulling back. Alu following up with Simple to go down, but Edward, he continues to wreak havoc. It becomes another 2 versus 2. Even when the gun rounds are in favor of FaZe and the force buys are on the hands of Na'Vi, they're making the rounds very close, but that's where the scoreline sits. 1 round between the 2. Guardian starts to rotate down below, but Alu above with bomb inside of the hut means this will be an upper plant easily with a smoke off main as well. Call it done. Alu just watches toward heaven, checks it, considers it, and now gets himself in position to push through the smoke. Nice shot, good reaction, Tech 9. And it's just a tin wall, does damage, and then pops out to take down Guardian.
Nicely done by Alu. 4 kills for him in total. That was a partial buy from Navi, saving their money for round number 15. So FaZe picking up a really solid performance so far. Definitely in contention to take the second map. Let's see whether they can hold on here. If they can win the half, I said that was one of the win conditions. I said if you win the half, maybe they have a chance of taking this. I still do favour Navi pretty heavily. 3rd map has been trained for those playing along at home.
Yeah, and you need to consider that at this point in time as a possibility. It's early yet, but FaZe are definitely holding their own in this map too. Nuke, as Guardian tries to fire in through Squeaky, nothing on the receiving end. Alu with nade. Let's go back toward the radio. Ooh.
Rare miss.
Very rare miss from Guardian. Usually hits those ones all day. And he's got wraparound company. Friends to find. Friends to punish. Not invited is Jacob. Guardian will be dynamic as well and rotate. This will be onto Heaven because there's smokes down. He wants to see above them towards Secret. But Rain will take the opportunity to try and get in toward main entrance while all of this happens. Kiyoshima with a Molotov behind the second vent will clear the closest cubby and make entrance more viable for Rain. Careful, Edward. Oh, careful, Edward, in that smoke. Has he gone by them? I can't spot exactly what he's done inside of hut, but as the smoke dissolves, he's found and sorted and dealt with by Kerrigan. Guardian, meanwhile, flashed off and Heaven gets his head down to stay alive long enough. He's got to get a rotation from FaZe, who is down below, and Guardian has to hit shots. That'll help. Alu goes up the ladder. It's a no-scope. Oh, falls back down below. Not that it matters. Guardian has one to work with of his own. He's going to flash, or rather, excuse me, smoke and push through on his own. No flash, but wants to get in. Seized has died yet again trying to work up from the vents. He's not yet been able to escape that trap. And FaZe will win the half, Henry, as you say. That's the win condition.
Yeah, indeed. It wasn't going to be enough just to get 6 rounds here. They needed to get a dominant performance, and all things considered, they lose the pistol here, Matt, and win the half as well. This is looking good. Guardian, well, they're too happy at the prospect of losing the first half there, but still, I still do favor Na'Vi overall, but this is looking very good from FaZe. Something to work with here. They win the pistol. They're in a great position going forward. So there it is, 8-7. T side here. Let's FaZe swap over. They have a minute to work with. In terms of a break in between halves, we've seen up to 5 minutes in some tournaments, but 1 minute, nice and quick. Move is over. And in terms of the pistol rounds, we can kind of start speculating as to what the T-sides can do. We did see that upper rush coming from FaZe. That's what a lot of teams are doing these days. We've seen some creative ideas. If you remember G2, when this map first came into the map pool originally, they had that cool strategy.
Heaven smoke?
The heaven smoke, then rush ramp, and then using that smoke to get up the ladder, and then like having that bird's eye view above the CTs. I thought that was really cool. But then as soon as people knew
what they were doing,
yeah.
The thing is, that's the kind of play that like everyone knew they were doing, so everyone stopped doing it. Yeah. You could easily throw it back into the mix. Yeah, it's just it's one of those every now and then strategies. I think there's ways to play off strategies like that as well. You throw that smoke and they think you're going to push ramp, maybe they over-rotate and you just walk into upper. There's ways, but that becomes a mind gaming. Mind games are always gambles. Simple waits toward radio room. He's got Flamey beside. That's Guardian outside on top of the silo. Bomb down inside of lobby. And Kerrigan's the one at ramp, just to give you the warning that he'll be playing off against Simple and Flamey if they go that direction.
Well, they're setting up for some smokes here. It's Guardian and Seas with smokes. Guardian on top of the silo. We'll see where he decides to throw his.
Climbing back up onto the roof. He's seized. Jacob behind second vent. Wants that doorway to open and be perfectly placed for crosshairs and headshots. Looks a little low by my look, but he knows where to aim.
Well, there's a smoke towards heaven. That's where Guardians will land. And maybe a smoke towards main entrance as well. That makes sense. And a headshot is taken by Jacob.
He's got to fade away. That'll bait them in toward Keo, but he can't hit the shots now. Does. Gets one quick enough, but seized. Will take down his teammate. Dances back out, finds it before going down with his last bullet. Onto Seas. That'll help tremendously, but Kerrigan's on the flank. And down goes Edward to his hands. Guardian to Reigns. Bomb but planted by Simple in a 1 versus 3. Fakes that he's gone toward the control room, and he's going to play new box. He's going to sit in dark spot and wait this out. Once they figure out that he's here, becomes a lot easier for them to deal with, but he's going to bait this time-wise. He wants to get it as low as possible. There is a kit for Alu. They've checked toward the stairs. They don't know where he is just yet, but as they go for the defuse back turn, needs to hit that sooner. Simple, he doesn't land it at all. Alu will take him down, and FaZe have second half pistol to work with.
They do. They extend their lead to 9-7. The bomb is planted, though, for Na'Vi. So I would assume they'll get the AKs in the third. They could get them in the second, to be fair. They didn't really get enough kills there. You want to be getting at least 4 kills to make that a possibility, so I don't think they'll do that force buy just yet. So Desert Eagles come in, and we go for the AKs on the third round for sure. And FaZe, their buy comes in as well. 2 M4s, 3 UMPs. Simply right. If he's in that dog spot position, if he gets that first kill and hides in, then maybe he's got a chance there. But the fake defuse forces him to face, gives his position away, and it was very unlikely he was going to win that round. But certainly a player like Simple has the potential to do so. Against round number 17 here. Rain patrolling towards outside. That's where the majority of the Na'Vi players are going. And he manages to do a lot of damage. Decent flashbang to hold off the push as well.
Rain is trying to spot toward the outer wraparound position, but can't do it with the UMP. They're already past red crate. Does get flamed before any threat could be accounted for, as the bomb will go down. And they continue to nullify any threat outside because it's Alu that rotates in with the M4. Rain again with Simple. Call Edward to get at least 1 shot in the round. Takes down Rain, looks for another lovely deagle shot, won't be as successful. Double digits for FaZe first on this map too, Nuke.
Indeed. Well, the force buy comes in though, Matt. This is a chance for Na'Vi to steal a round away. 3 AKs, Galils, and Simple yet to buy. I'm assuming you'll get the AK as well. There it is. Very limited, but they have got a couple of smokes to work with here. See where they can put them to use. 3 smokes, in fact. So could do the standard 3 smokes outside, and we'll see whether these UMPs decide to go aggressive here. But pretty unlikely. Kerrigan's going towards ramp with his. We'll have a look at Jacob's position as well. He's towards the hut, so that's a nice position for him to play. They're all available for either side. Jacob makes his way towards the vents, presumably towards the secret area.
Jacob and Rain as we snap over. The Norwegian combo playing together again for this tournament, at least. Rain's got a kill that goes down. It's all going to be Na'Vi on entry. Simple got inside of the doorway, holds it shut, and down goes Jacob. Edward closes it. We're back to within 2 rounds of each other at 10-8. And this is where you have to wonder if Na'Vi gets rolling with execution. They've got all the tools. They just need the minds to make it work and to be on form.
Well, it's a good round to pick up there. Denying the 3-0 after Simple's bomb plant towards lower. They will force into this phase. It will be 3 rifles and a scout and a Mag 7. The Mag 7, not amazing on this map, but you can get it towards hut, maybe towards ramp as well. You can have some close range action, but it would take a mistake from a terrorist, and there it is. Sees going to be caught off guard there as kiyoShiMa pushes in, and that's a nice little headshot to open up the round. That weapon can be very scary indeed. kiyoShiMa bags $900 and gives his team the 5-on-4 advantage as well.
Talked about this position from Hiko yesterday with the shotgun. It didn't work out for him because he never had the opening opportunity to use it. He had to retake with it, which isn't as effective. We also saw the boost over toward B for Kerrigan. He's still in the corner with Alu rotating back. His confidence to watch heaven, which he's going to need to do because Simple wrapping around has rained down. That levels things in the round. Jacob, decontamination stairs, has headshot potential. 2 angles as well if they try and push onto him. This being the first on original cross, needs to hit it, does. And if they wrap around the corner, he can back up and catch them toward the vent entrance. Edwards almost slipped by, hits the shot in return. Down goes Jacob and open up the lower bomb site. Not only that, Simple takes out kiyoShiMa above. Edwards gonna wrap back around, spot Kerrigan at heaven. They know where the last player is, but they still go upper and give Kerrigan a chance, to be fair.
Yeah, he kills one of main and dinks Edward as well, so a chance, but not quite enough, I'm afraid. 10-9, this should be an eco from FaZe after that force buy, and Simple doing the majority of the legwork there, and towards lower, that's where most of the important duels went down. Jacob in that crossfire position. If he finds that next kill on those new stairs, then maybe there could have been a chance there. But for now, PT-50's Desert Eagles, no grenades on the CT side. And you can see that's why Na'Vi bring out the SMGs himself. Maybe a little bit too much in that respect. They're going to win this round pretty much hands down. They've got money to buy. They're going to have 3 SMGs presumably for the next round. And then Kerrigan, yes, he picks up that first kill.
Back away as he gets to the Mac 10, gets a little bit over aggressive to try and re-peek back toward the ramp, and Na'Vi looking like they're going to tie the game on the terrorist side. They've just got rain to find. And I don't think that'll be too hard as he's going to reveal himself. Does have a nice shot on this Simple. I'll give him that.
That was nice. Rain's looking very much on point at the moment.
And dead.
10-10. They tie things up after winning the pistol here. FaZe dropped that 3rd round. That's going to be 3 in a row for Na'Vi now. Money is still an issue for FaZe though. No orb coming out on that CT side, and Guardian, he picks up the weapon on the attacking side. So we'll see whether he can open up the map for them. This will be a default play, but Guardian has got decent spawn. Could go straight towards ramp or open up the squeaky door. I would say maybe the latter more realistic at this stage, as he will be going to that position. Let's see if we can find anyone towards main entrance. Hello. Oh, just about.
Timing was there. Guardian's off. Careful not to get in his way, team. Oh, turn around. He's caught them out rotating in. They push hut as well. Nearly it's the no-scope, but it's kiyoShiMa instead with 2. Fast play through ramp from FaZe, and it's worked because the bomb is now down inside of the lobby. They've got to backtrack just to get it. Now, is the question for me, where do they backtrack? FaZe is going to wrap around potentially through ramp and catch them off. They could have gone outer, but Rain's still watching the big garage if they go that direction. So it's hold station and allow FaZe to do the work. Keep them busy as well, because if they start to consider the timing, they'll read this.
Look at Alu's position as well. He's in a fantastic place to lock this down, but it might not even be important as Rain finds another kill here. This was great from FaZe. They lose that first pick towards main, and they've reacted straight away. 2 players around, pushing in towards lobby, finding the kills in the back, and they get the bomb in control as well, but Alu looks away for a second, and Sees finds him. It's going to be a 2-on-2 situation. This kill pretty much summarizes it. Now Rain in a difficult position, still winnable. 45 seconds remaining, and C's low HP, but he's lost track of the T's now, so he needs to work out what his next move is. This could work out. C's just walking this crosser.
This is very good. Low HP, straightforward, but bombs with Flamey. That was that ramp, and now he's made the call that he can head down below, so a plant to come in for sure. What does Rain do to react? Busts out the vent. That's not really much of a surprise factor lost because it was pretty obvious he had to rotate that position anyway. In the open is Flamey as he tries to set to greet, and it doesn't work. FaZe will continue to keep the lead.
Another astonishing round there from Rain. 2 versus 1. It meant everything really. Na'Vi would have broken their economy once again, and he goes above and beyond and delivers another round win there for FaZe. 11-10, they take the lead here, and this is the play. This was so good from FaZe. They lose that first pick towards main entrance, and as soon as they do it, they're reacting. They're pushing towards ramp from in towards the lobby and finding kills. Na'Vi don't expect it. They lose the bomb. Comes down to a 1v1 in the end, but Rain, he's been great so far here on Nuke, and he finds his 19th frag. So great work from him so far, and FaZe do take the lead. Money's still a factor though. Na'Vi certainly with the lion's share of the economy here. Now with the AWP though, I thought he hit that shot, but apparently not.
Sprays through. That's big damage onto C's. That nade might be enough if it goes beyond the crate, doesn't it? Bounces off the top. So C's will stay alive a little bit longer. Rain, meanwhile, as he's done multiple rounds, gets another kill, and that's due to a massive gap in those smokes. That's a gap wider than Madonna's teeth, to be honest. As Alu, with the smoke dissolved, is setting to allow them to walk into his crosshairs before they can get to secret. It works. Down goes Guardian. And FaZe, just when it looked like Na'Vi was going to get momentum, are in a great position to take this round with very little money. It's massive for them to do so as well. Edward's still trying to transition and find another kill. It's Simple that does so. He's been quiet, but now it starts to unfold for him.
Not too happy with that decision from Jacob there. He's got the SMG, the man advantage, and he's got so many angles to check that. He hasn't got the weapon to actually challenge that position. Looks towards Silo, head blown off, now it's a 3-on-3. He can just hold towards Secret, watch towards Lower, make sure he keeps staying alive and not giving anything away. Now, Alu in a really tricky position here. Misses the shot. Has to hit this one. Not meant to be, though. Karrigan now left in the 3 versus 1. UMP in hand. This could be a double eco situation, but he's gifted 2 kills.
What?
All of a sudden, it's a 1v1.
Edward knows he's there. He's reloaded. The AK slides out slow and gets dinked, but lands the shot. 11-11. We finally find ourselves on that score at least once. That was far too close. Karrigan.
Oh, wow. A lapse of concentration there from Na'Vi. So focused towards heaven. Karrigan can't believe his luck. He actually finds, look at this, they're not even thinking this is a possibility. And he times it to perfection as well. He dinks the 3rd player. If he wins that round, he saves his team. But now, 11-11, it's going to be Na'Vi up against a partial buy here, the CTs. And it's actually maybe a force by Kiyoshima's gone all in. He's got 5-7 armor, taking himself down to $0. Actually, 3 players have done that, so I guess you can call this a full-on force. Stacking towards ramp room. Edward dealing with the 1st player. Karrigan does find 1. But for now, it's going to be a 4 versus 3, and considering they only have pistols here, the round's pretty much over.
Nade to the turnpike, won't do damage. Simple to the basement to try and cover off Rain's rotation, spotted by Flamey and Na'Vi. Giving up the lead in the first half, losing the 2nd pistol, pulling it back to 10-10. May finally get a lead at 12-11. That's the case. Jacob goes down. But now can they close it? Can they continue with this momentum? There's money for Karrigan, and he goes onto the scout. The rest of the map to hold for at least another round, including Alu. Buys a P250 that leaves him with $3,100, so they want to try and get him out of the op in the next round immediately.
Indeed. Well, for now, we get 1 step closer to taking map number 2 here. Has to be an eco for FaZe. They get a scout in the hands of Karrigan. Let's see if he can do any damage with this weapon, but to be fair, his teammates only on P250s and default pistols as well, so very unlikely he can give a strong enough performance with the less sniper rifle here. Got a chance to hit some shots. That one doesn't connect, and neither does that one. And they'll be falling back towards lobby, I think, at this point.
Simple's waiting as well inside of the hut to see if they'll push through Guardian. Quick peek out between the boxes to the big garage. And he spots up Karrigan getting aggressive with the scout. He wanted to get the early pick. That costs them in the end, Rain. Hole in the door is going to try and do the same, but Simple there is being patient with his AK-47. If he peeks again, I dare say Simple takes his head off, clean off at that. Jacob pushes through, double push with the pistols. They need to be careful. Simple's gone back around, and he reverses the push. He goes through the window of hut and says, I'll just chase you if you want to chase me, and gets 2 further kills.
Well then, can you imagine a world where Karrigan won that clutch, and then FaZe had the huge advantage on the CT side?
That, yeah, this would be ridiculous, but 13-11, they're getting ever closer now to wrapping this up.
Well then, there is money available here. Not a ton of it for FaZe. They get an AWP out. Only 1 kit though. A couple of incendiaries. They'll be at 4th stage loss bonus if they lose this round, and that would pretty much be it. $2,100 to try and hold on to the series. This is the round. This is pretty much a must-win round at this point. Ali with the AWP. He needs to step up here. He's towards Garage, playing quite a passive hold though. Guardian trying to sniff him out.
Sense of smell like a hunting dog. Tries to use the AWP to the best advantage. Alu will fade back. Not be sitting in the open. Does get back in position, and Guardian was not set to spot him in doing so. He may have been slightly forward of the position where he could have been spotted either way. I didn't quite catch Guardian's location at the time, but he's dropped down now toward the top of main. He's lost his teammate Seized. It's Rain with that particular kill that was coming around from main. Covered off, Alu, big miss. Big miss, and it signals his position, but recovery as he gets Flamey down, flash over. They still want to push onto him, but they can't get coverage, and he's going to walk in behind, spot them wrapping around. Edward falls, Guardian finally does get him, but is it too late? Perhaps not with Simple around, because he's got one. Oh, watch to his right. Inside of the vent, Jacob, he wants to get out. I'm not sure if he's gone back down the ladder or not, because Simple, oh yeah, he has. So Simple's sitting there, he knows the call is there, and the back turn, up shot from Guardian, doesn't land, but he hit Kiyoshima before, so Simple has a 1 versus 2 instead of what would have been 3, doesn't even matter. Out through the hut, and Kerrigan will take him down. It's still a 1-round game.
There it is. Very exciting series here. I'm so glad FaZe have turned up on this map and giving it a real good go. Alu missing a couple of shots there. I thought that was going to be it. That was a strange decision from Flamey, to be fair. They know exactly where he is. He's got the orb. I assume he's trying to catch him on the retake there. You can see Edward trying to pincer at the same time, so I guess that's the call, but he exposes himself and allows Ali to actually secure the round at that point. Money not really getting to a decent position still for FaZe. Need to get this one in the bag, but it's a full buy from Navi in return. You can see the Max 7's out, but they still have the orb on Alu. So they're still in a reasonably good position. That's a really strong nade though. That's from Jacob into the face of Guardian, takes him down to 35 HP here. Something to work with in terms of the initial advantage.
Kiyoshima shotgun top hut. A page from the book of Hiko. A brick on the green wall he now is. There's Rain inside of the main entrance. Does have multiple angles of approach to worry about, one of which is Squeaky, now smoked off. The other is outside. Double smokes, no gap this time. And Alu playing passive means down towards Secret they go. And I think, yes, indeed I can confirm, Rain's gone down the vents and will play in the control room. So he'll be ready when they arrive. How much more support do they want to add to that? Kerrigan's still on ramp, hasn't left it yet because he doesn't have information as to what's going on radio. He'll be the next to arrive. Kio's above the vent if he needs to go down, but Rain stands true, gets 2. And as he sprays down Guardian and Edward, he gives FaZe a real chance to bring this level, and money starts to be a factor this late in the game. Both sides very weak on it right now, so it's still an important round. They have to transfer through, and that means counting out for Seized. Bomb planted inside of the smoke, tags as well, as Rain goes down to 7. That's enough for the nade to catch him, but Alu, with an up shot back from the ramp, has opened things up to a real possibility. Flamey, however, has one down. Low HP on Alu. Needs to be sure to play this on the bomb, but he gets aggressive, and Kio's there.
Rain is stepping up tremendously once again, holding that window room on the lower bomb side there. It was going so well for Navi. They had everything going in their favor as well, but Rain finds a double kill, and he gives FaZe an opportunity to get back into that round. Still, though, comes down to the 2 versus 1. Here's the replay from Rain. Very well controlled there. Great spray down, and at this point, 13-13. Nothing separating these two sides. 1-0 in terms of map so far to Navi. They're going to close it out on 2, but FaZe giving a very good fight here as we go to round number 27. It's going the full distance. Whoever loses the round now is going to be on an eco. At this stage of the game, that could be the deciding round. This is it.
Alu wants to get aggressive as well with the op flash. So fire. And a stack on Rain. I call it a stack. It's 2 players, but it's more than what we normally see in this position on the current versions of Nuke. As soon as the op gets established, they back it down to Turnpike. Kiyoshima will cover off on the rafters, but already Navi's got outer. And they're down below, with Seized again being the aggressor. Jacob's already rotated. He's got a hunch they're in the halls. Like a rat inside of the walls. It's going to be Seized that gets to the control room undetected.
That's kind of cool, but you can see Jacob seems to know it's a possibility. Holding down towards low, so they forced the rotation at least. They go towards up and out. Seized can just come in from the vent behind them. Jacob not moving just yet.
Kerrigan still up on Heaven. It's the exchange for Rain, and he's got Edward down. Big Garage cuts off one, and it's all blue on the kill feed. It's Alu and Jacob to find Flamey and Seized, who was inside of the control room. We said it's Simple, 1 versus 5. You just mentioned money. Big situation for Simple. Only gets one. Kerrigan's behind him, and FaZe, 2 rounds to go with an eco pending to put this into map 3.
So, 14-13, like I said, whoever loses this round is going to be eco. That's certainly the case right now. Looks like it's going to be a 4 spy potentially here. I'm seeing some purchases coming in. Head armor purchase for 4 players. Tech9s and UMPs coming in, but it's a little bit of a partial buy. They're keeping around $1,000 per player. Seized has gone all in. That's if they pick this one up, it will be a travesty. FaZe want to get this map points and secure overtime, and they're doing a very good job of guaranteeing that so far. First 2 kills going in their favor.
Rain waiting for someone to show outside. It's Edward that does. Tech9 wins the duel as well with a lovely shot from Edward. He's tagged on to 34, and they're still down a man, though, so FaZe still looking somewhat comfortable, but they're going to group try and rush, overwhelm Kerrigan at ramp. Around the smoke, can't land it. He's got to be careful. Oh, jeez. I was going to say careful not to run out of ammo. He hits 2 headshots as he falls down, and will close the round as well. 15 and map point for FaZe.
There it is. They've been great on this CD half, especially Rain. 25 kills for him. Alu not far behind. Looking dead set to close this one out. 1 round will do it. Na'Vi now need 2 to take us to overtime, but that was a great play from Kerrigan. Nailing that ramp position. 4 AKs and the Galil. Not much in terms of grenades for Na'Vi to finish things off here, but we'll see whether they can claw around back. Very tall order, all things considered, but Alu this time, he'll be towards outside. And I get a first shot in here, but narrowly misses out on him.
I thought that hit for a second.
Yeah.
He's tagged Alu down to 62. Rain's early on this rotation again for FaZe, and it might not be the worst thing in the world because, again, Na'Vi looks to try and put pressure on Outer, but I got the feeling this time they want to wrap at main. Try and push back to upper. Good play from Seized. Never mind wrapping immediately into the door. Push all the way through and find Alu. That's Jacob and Kerrigan. Great rotation from ramp to find Seized. It's down to Guardian, 1 versus 4, and FaZe have fought back. We didn't expect it, but they certainly did. 16-13, they'll make it a 1-1 series. I like that high five. Thank you, Kiyoshima.
Well, then there you go. Somehow, yeah, like I said, I didn't think FaZe would have it in them with what we've seen so far. They've only played Mirage this tournament, and it looked pretty ropey with the stand-in, but that was a very convincing performance. I have to say, Rain, that looked amazing by him. He looked so comfortable, so many big rounds from him, multiple spray downs, big clutches, and he managed to keep the dream alive as we go into the 3rd map, which will be Train.
And they head out onto the floor of the casino, likely to regroup and perhaps use the washroom. It's not a bad idea between games, but 1-1. And we hit the Train next. Na'Vi isn't exactly looking convincing. They haven't throughout the whole course of this tournament, which is a bit surprising to me. I expect so much from this team with that much on paper. Got to stand in, Jacob. I mean, Rain, you said it was the man to watch, no question in that match, but sure. They're putting up a fight. They've built back in. They're legitimately in this series.
They certainly are. So, Matthew, we'll take a break ourselves, recalibrate, and we'll come back for the 3rd map, which will be Train, and we'll see who's going to be our last team to the playoffs. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.